Would you like to learn how to harness the power of AI to increase appointment bookings, save time, and boost your earnings with brand new and your current leads? Well, in this video, I'll guide you through the steps to achieve exactly that. If you stick around to the end, I've got a great offer where I can personally help you to implement this strategy in your business, allowing you to enjoy the benefits that AI has to offer much, much quicker. Hello, I'm Don Bassler, a GoHighLevel expert and digital marketing leader specializing in local businesses and agencies. Today, my focus will be on an incredibly new feature within the GoHighLevel CRM. GoHighLevel is my preferred all-in-one marketing and sales platform. When used effectively, this feature has the potential to revolutionize the lead generating and nurturing game for local businesses and agencies who support them. So let's go ahead and hop on my computer and dive into the AI fun. All right, so in order for this functionality to actually present itself to you in your personal sub-account within the GoHighLevel platform, you have to make sure that the agency that your sub-account sits upon has enabled this. So here we are in my agency. What you're going to want to do from the agency settings, you're going to click on settings down at the bottom left, and then you're going to look at the company link. And we're going to scroll down and you'll see that you have to make sure that you have conversation AI enabled for all of your sub-accounts. Once you've done that, then this functionality will be enabled in all the sub-accounts and we can get started. So I'm just going to go over to a sub-account here where I have begun the training for the conversational AI, and I'm going to go to settings, and then I'm going to go to conversation AI. You'll see there's the off settings, which just means there's nothing there but a chat widget, right? And then there's suggestive. Now, suggestive is basically just going to assist a human in typing quicker. So when somebody asks a question, it'll ping you on your lead connector mobile app or within the conversations sector here of the sub account. And rather than having to type everything out just from scratch, it'll have some canned responses that you can select and then edit before you hit send. So that's helpful, but it doesn't quite get the job done the way we want to do this. The next one is going to be autopilot. Now, you'll see here, this is in beta, all right? So understand that as we utilize this, it's not quite ready for prime time. It works, don't get me wrong. But if you're going to deploy this on a full-time basis, I would say, A, we're going to train the crud out of it because you really want to train. And then we're going to perhaps deploy it if we're going to do it hands-off, like on a weekend when we have little or the least amount of traffic, or we're going to do it when we can kind of babysit it, all right? So that would be a scenario where we put it live, it's doing its job, and then we kind of monitor it to make sure it doesn't frustrate the customer by asking the same question too many times or redundantly. So that can happen being that it's in beta, but let's move on. Okay, so you have these supported channels that you can set this up in. I currently have mine set up as SMS and chat widget. However, you'll see that the other channels here are Instagram DMs. We've got Facebook Messenger, Google property, Google business properties, and then we can do live chat as well. That would be a full monitor. So I'm just going to leave mine at SMS and chat widget, SMS chat. And then for the advanced settings, you're going to put your business name. By default, it's going to be the location name. I like to make sure that it shows my client's business name there, so I just type it in. And then autopilot mode. This is how to configure, or this is where you configure the settings for the autopilot mode based on your business needs. Wait time before responding depends on your own desires, but I like for my bot to wait for about 30 seconds before it starts to engage. It just seems like that's a more human response time. So you can set that to whatever value you want. 20, 30 seconds I think is great. Now, the maximum messages a bot can send to a contact. This is important because remember, this is beta. We don't want to put it out there front and center and really rely on it at this point 100%. It's good at what it does, especially as I said earlier, if you train it really well and really put it through its paces. But I like the 10 because within 10 questions and answers, the person on the other end of this chat bot should get the idea now, should have their questions answered. And the whole intent of the bot is either to help you to schedule an appointment or to get them enrolled or something, or just to answer the questions so that they can make a smart decision, right? So 10 is kind of a sweet spot here. The other reason is that, look, the current plan, this thing is 2 cents a response. So if you let this thing just go ham and just answer, 50 questions, it can get pricey in time. But again, it's in beta. You're going to hear me say that a lot during this. It's in beta, so 10 is ample. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to want to do once we have that set up is we're going to come over here and we're going to click on Configure Intents. Now, we're going to leave this enabled. This will be enabled by default, support general question and answer, because that's in fact what it's here to do. And then we're going to enable the appointment booking. It says here, note, if an appointment is already confirmed for a contact, the intent switches to general support for that specific contact. So that's good to know. So we're going to pick a calendar here. I've already chosen the call calendar. This is the calendar that we want this bot to ultimately schedule somebody on. And we can allow it to book appointments directly. So this bot, imagine it could say, hey, we have appointments open on Monday through Wednesday, 8 to 5. Would you like to pick a spot? And then the recipient or the live human on the other end would say, Monday at 8 a.m. works great for me. And then the bot will say, great, I have you booked, and the bot will book that appointment. If you want to allow that, you can just leave this alone. If you would rather send them to your Calendly or your GoHighLevel calendar link, then you, of course, would say, don't book appointment, only send the booking link. So I'm going to go ahead and just let it conversationally do what I want it to do and go ahead and book the appointment for based on my availability or my client's availability. The next thing we have here is conversation flow. Now, this is important because these are the questions that you should add here that are going to educate your bot, and that your bot is going to ask the person on the other end of the chat before it does anything else. So imagine here, this business is sweepers and scrubbers for industrial floors, a really great company here in Northern California. And they have a lot of questions before they can really recommend a make or a model or a specific service for their clients. So you'll want to put these questions in, these qualifying questions for the bot to ask before it can suggest a product or before it can suggest a service. So you can see here, when you click on add, there's a question and you just fill this out. And this is what I've done here. I'm going to go ahead and delete the one I just clicked on add, but that's where you do to do so. We need to ask, what size area do you have to sweep or scrub? So this is important that we know how many square feet or what the area is of the industrial warehouse that they're going to want to sweep or scrub, because that allows us to then make a recommendation for the correct model. What type of floor do you have? Is it vinyl, concrete, epoxy, etc.? That also matters. What's on the floor that you want clean? Sawdust, foodstuffs, liquid, etc. These are all questions that we need to know before we can make a strong suggestion, or that we can allow the AI to make a strong suggestion as to which model would suit the customer best. And the last question we put in here is, what type of machine do you think would best suit your needs? A ride-on machine or a walk-behind machine? So these are qualifying questions that this AI bot will ask our visitor before it proceeds answering questions that the visitor asks. Okay, so the next step we're going to go is into bot training. We'll click on bot training here. And what we did here is we just put in a particular domain name. So we put in the original domain of the website. And when you do, the website will go through and scrub, no pun intended, but it'll look through all of the facts about that website, and then it will update all the links that it finds. Here you can see when I click on this, it trained itself on all these links. There's makes and models that are on our website, and all I had to do is put in the domain name here. And this brilliant bot, this brilliant beta bot, goes through, finds every single page on this website, educates itself, understands the content, and then puts it into its memory banks. Then we have a Q&A section. Now, I had an issue where I put in the FAQs page, and oddly enough, we use an accordion style FAQ, and for this purpose, I had trouble getting the bot to understand where the FAQs were and how to use them, and so you can see here it's had an error in doing so. So much to my chagrin and frustration, I had to come in here and just manually type in every question that we receive and the best answer for that question. So you may have to do that depending on how your FAQs page is designed, but if that's the case, you just add the Q's and A's right here, type in the question, type in the answer, and then the bot is duly notified, duly trained, and now can answer those FAQs when they come up, as they inevitably will in the conversation that the chatbot is having with the inquirer on the other end. All right. Once you have all that done, this bad boy, this bad girl, should I say Z? I don't know. This bot is trained. So the next step is we're going to go in and click on bot trial. Well, by the way, where you click and get data here, you can put a domain name in here. You can put in multiple domain names. You can also put in Google Docs. So if you have a Google Doc, you can put that in here. Here's a pro tip. If you have video heavy content, you can't put this, you cannot give it, say, a video page and expect it to understand what the video content is all about. So what I do is I upload that video to YouTube privately, and then YouTube transcribes it. I'll grab that transcription from YouTube, or any transcription software you want to use will work, and then I'll just put that on a page. Doesn't matter what the page looks like. The bot doesn't care. Nobody's going to visit that page. It's just that now you'll have a URL with that content on that you can put in here, and then you can click on get data, and now it'll be able to digest and consume all of that content from your video, which is super helpful. So know that you can do that. All right, so once that's all done, we're going to go into the bot trial. And this is where you really start putting this thing through its paces. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, can you help me find a model scrubber? I didn't have to put in a question mark. It knows it's a question. The AI bot is thinking here. You see those three dots? It's going to respond a lot quicker here in the trial format than it will in real life. In real life, it kind of hesitates, and then it'll just look more human, right? It doesn't just spit out these answers immediately. So it looks like they're talking to a human. I suggest you maybe give this thing a name and say, hey, your name is Mollybot or whatever, so that when people are using it, they don't think there's a person on the other line, at least not at this point since it's in beta. I'd let them know, hey, this is a bot, but it's a brilliant bot. I think they'll be impressed with it and they'll get all their questions answered, so it serves its purpose. So the AI bot responded, sure, let's find the right scrubber for you. What size area do you have to sweep or scrub? Remember, that's one of the questions we used in our training of the bot. So I'm going to say just 10,000, and I'll do square feet. And the bot comes back with, great, that's a sizable area. What type of floor do you have? I like this response, vinyl, concrete, epoxy, etc. So as I'm going through this, I want to let the bot know that it's learned what I want it to learn and that it's doing a good job or a bad job. So far, I'm going to go good job. Okay, I'm going to give that. You see it says feedback is received. And on this one as well, I'm going to say good job. So far, so good. All right, now I'm going to answer the question. I'm going to say it's an epoxy floor and hit send. Got it, epoxy floors. What is on the floor that you want clean? These are all the questions that we prompted it to ask. I'm just going to say liquids. Oh, and by the way, let's give it thumbs up here. Understood. Dealing with liquids. Do you think a ride-on machine or a walk-behind scrubber would best suit your needs? Now I'm going to give it some, I'm going to make it tough for it. I'm going to say, well, which would you suggest? Just want to see what the response would be. I have no idea how it's going to respond to it. And it says for 10,000 square feet with epoxy floor and liquid spills, a ride-on scrub would likely be more efficient and less labor intensive. How does that sound? I'm going to give that a thumbs up. I like that. It's guiding me. I'm going to say, how much are they? Right? I think this is a natural progression of a Q&A session with a bot. I want to know what the price is. We've got a range of models with different prices. I can definitely get you a quote. Interested in booking an appointment to discuss further? I like that. So it knows that I want to discuss or to book an appointment. It knows that my end goal is to get somebody to book. So I'm going to say, okay, I like that response. And let's just say, well, I'm not quite ready for that. I'll go not quite ready for that. Can you tell me more about your machines? Let's just do that. I want to see what that says, how it responds. And it's going to come back with our ride-on GTX scrubber has varying cleaning widths up to 34 inches and runs up to 4 hours. Need a specific quote for the model that catches your eye? That is appropriate. I like that. So far so good for a beta product, and for this particular business and these particular products, it's doing a good job. It's not re-asking questions, which can be frustrating and be an immediate tip-off that this thing is not really learning or human-like. So I like where it's going so far. I'm going to say, yes, I'd like a quote. Can you suggest several models? Let's see how it responds to this. Absolutely, I can suggest models that would fit your needs. For a quote, could you tell me where you'd like, could you tell me when? Okay, good. When you'd like to book an appointment to go over the details? I'm going to say this is good. I don't know if I gave this thumbs up or not. I believe I did. I'm going to say, when would I like to book? I'm going to say, I'm open next Wednesday at 9 a.m. And it's going to come back. Let's book you for March 6th. 2024, right? Here are the available slots, 9 to 9:30, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., 10 a.m. Could you pick a slot that works? Oh, 9:30, 9:30, 10. Could you pick a slot that works for you? Here's a question. I'm going to say, actually, I know that this is a local business, so I don't have to worry about Pacific Standard Time or Eastern Standard Time. If that were the case, you would want to train your bot in the configure intent sections. You would say, what is your time zone? Pacific, Central, Eastern, because you would want to know that if you're a business that provides services nationally, right? This is a local business, so I'm just going to say 9 a.m. works. And I'm going to click send. And now it literally booked it. Great. You're booked for March 6th at 9 a.m. And check this out. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I have the GoHighLevel lead connector app connected to my phone so that not only can you answer these in the conversations area of your GoHighLevel account, you can go to the lead connector app, which is gray labeled, by the way, and it will literally show you your appointment, which is so friggin' cool. I just love this thing. I'm going to give this particular chat bot that I've trained for this particular business an A+. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. It did as it would be expected to do. I can continue to put it through more difficult paces. Like, let's just say, I don't know where I'm going, so I'm just going to, sorry about that. I'm going to say, where are you located? And I'm going to misspell that kind of on purpose there. And this is cool. It says, we're located at 390 Park Creek Drive, number 103, Clovis, California. Well, I'm just going to say, can you provide me with directions? This is really stressing it out. I don't think it can do this, but I'm just trying to see what the capabilities are. It'll probably go deeper into it. Sure thing. For the best route to our location, it'd be helpful to know your starting point. Well, look at this. Could you let me know where you're coming from? I'm going to put in an address here. This is interesting. I think this is really, really capable. I mean, for a beta product, if it's going to give me real directions to this location, I'll be impressed. Click on send. It's probably tying into Google Maps or something. For directions to our main office from your address, the best way would be through a GPS app like Google Maps or Waze for real-time navigation. Okay, so I'm going to give these both thumbs up. I didn't expect it to give me a map, routing page kind of thing. All right, so far, I'm not going to lie, I've been impressed with what the bot responds with. I know we've trained it appropriately. It's reviewed our website. It's looked at our FAQs that we put in there, and so it really understands the business pretty well. Something I don't believe that's on the website is the hours of operation. So I'm going to come in here. I've given all these previous responses thumbs up, right? I want to see something that maybe it doesn't know or that it might answer inappropriately or incorrectly, I should say. So I'm going to say, what are your operating hours? I could also say, what are your hours of being open or something like that. We're open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. So you know what? That must be on the website. It found that. I'm going to try to ask it a question that it doesn't know. So far, it's doing a really good job. In fact, an impressively good job. I'm going to say, who is the business owner? Let's see if it can answer this. Sorry, I'm not sure about the business owner's details. Okay, so if I wanted the business owner's details to be known, which I don't know, I think it's important. He's a really good guy and he's a icon in the industry. So I'm going to now say thumbs down, okay? And so you can see here it says, who is the business owner? Sorry, I'm not sure about the business owner's details. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, the answer is Okay, so once again, I'm going to type in who is the business owner. I think it's important that it would know. And the AI bot is going to say, sorry, I don't have information about that business owner. So I wanted to know who the business owner, if somebody asked that, I wanted to give the name because he's an icon into the industry, a true leader in the industry. So I'm going to click the down thumb. And all I need to do is go in here and type in the business owner's name. And then I'll click on train bot. And the bot will now have successfully added that to the FAQ. It popped up there. So you can come in here and you can give it positive, of course, thumbs up when it does well. And when it does something or when it yields a response that you're not happy with, simply give it the thumbs down. And as you just saw I did, the dialog will pop up. You give it the correct answer, the answer that you want it to deliver. You might have to do that several times, but when you do, it goes into the knowledge base of the AI. And so this AI gets even more deeply trained. So that's a hot tip for you. Make sure you use both thumbs up and thumbs down and correct those bad answers. So you'll have a bot that's ultimately going to be able to answer all kinds of pertinent questions and get to the call to action that you want the visitor to take most, which is typically to book an appointment or hopping on a call. So this bot gets an A+, and I'm really pleased with it, even in its beta format for this particular business. So look, here's a 24/7, 365 employee that doesn't call in sick, that is always on the job, that you don't have to pay This is a pretty insane scheduler bot here, right? I mean, I'm impressed. Anybody can go to the chat widget on this site now and book an appointment. It's a game changer for so many businesses. If you're not already using this functionality in your business, you absolutely have to check out the GoHighLevel platform. If you use my link, which is below as an affiliate to get started, I'll set this all up for you. I'll even create a website for you. I want to make sure that you're successful, not only as a local business, but as an agency. So hit me up on my offer, check this all out, and be sure, if you got value out of this video, to like and subscribe. It truly helps me to bring more videos and lets me know that people are watching. And also be sure to let me know if there's any other videos on these subjects that you'd like me to make for you. I thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.